Well, it's time now for our In Focus Health Update. Health reporter Linord Moudou joins us now with a look at two major problems: an outbreak of measles and counterfeit drugs. Linord.
Hello, Vincent. Health officials in Zanzibar have launched a two-day emergency immunization campaign against measles to reach 10,000 children under 5 years old. This follows the first measles outbreak to hit the country in 5 years. The country's health minister says most of the 76 recorded cases occurred within the past 2 weeks. Officials blame the outbreak on delays in vaccine delivery caused by high global demand, as well as the reluctance of parents to take their children to health centers for immunization. Counterfeit medicines are drugs that may be contaminated or contain the wrong or inactive ingredients. The fake medicine may also have the right active ingredient, but at the wrong dose. Fake drugs are designed to fool consumers by using misleading packaging and mimicking the shape, color, size, and imprints of genuine drugs. It's estimated that 1 in 4 packets of medicine sold in street markets in developing countries might be fake. Experts say developing countries are particularly vulnerable in part because regulatory officials often lack the capacity or political will to curb the distribution of fake goods. The World Health Organization says drugs commonly counterfeited include antibiotics, antimalarials, hormones, and steroids. Increasingly, anti-cancer and antiviral drugs are also faked. Health officials in Ghana are fighting to tackle counterfeit medicines. Officials say fake drugs have flooded the markets and even made their way into government hospitals. Joining us on the phone from Accra to discuss this issue is Edward Amporful, Chief Pharmacist at the Cocoa Clinic. Mr. Amporful, welcome to In Focus.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Obviously, counterfeit medicine is a problem in Ghana. Can you tell us about that? What is happening there?
Well, we always sometimes hear reports about the availability or the presence of counterfeit medicines on the market, on the Ghanaian market. And so for those of us who work in systems like that, we always have to be on the lookout to prevent such products from coming into our systems.
Now, what do you see? What do you see as the challenges in tackling this issue? Because obviously it is very, very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, the challenges include the lack of the medicines. Some of the medicines are in higher demand. For example, the anti-malarial, which are in high demand. They must be available all the time. If we have shortages, then there's a tendency for people to make capital out of it by introducing counterfeit products onto the market. And the other one is the cost of the medicine. If the cost is very high, then some people may think that it is an avenue for them to make money. And then we have to also look at our borders, the land borders particularly. It is very, very, it is loose and it is easy for people to transport some of these medicines across the borders because keeping vigil over these borders at all times becomes a challenge to authorities. Then the other thing is the internet purchasing, e-procurement, where people can sit wherever they are and use the internet to order some medicines into the country. You can never know or verify the source of these medicines. So these are challenges that we continue to face from time to time.
What about the makers of these drugs? Who are they? Do we know who they are?
So far, the reported cases that have come to our attention invariably come from the Far East. Countries like India, China are the notable ones. But there have also been mention of products from some country in the West African sub-region, particularly Nigeria. And then other countries, even Europe, sometimes you can have situations or reported cases of counterfeit products coming from there.
Now, in 10 seconds, what do you think will be the most important step to tackle this issue? Training
and exposure. the authorities must organize regular updates, for people in health systems to update them of what is happening and what they should be looking out for at all times, even as they go about their duties, because the counterfeiters are becoming more and more sophisticated.
Okay.
And very more sophisticated in the way they do their things. Yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. That's all the time we have. Mr. Amporful, thank you so much for joining us today. And that was Edward Amporful, Chief Pharmacist at the Cocoa Clinic in Accra, Ghana. Vincent? Well,
thanks a lot, Linord, for that report. Remember to watch for Linord Moudou's health segments each Tuesday and Thursday right here on In Focus.